Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Live totally, live intensely. You can live as intensely and totally in a moment as people live their whole life. But when you are living whole life and you skip the moment, your living will be very thin, spread over a long period of time. That does not mean that you are not fortunate enough, because remember, authentic living needs great intensity and totality, not a thin layer. A lukewarm survival is not a living indeed. But if you know that the next moment you are going to die, you will drop everything that you were involved in, and the only priority will be to know yourself. Live as totally and passionately as possible. Remember, it is only through intense living that you will be able to discover who you are, what God is, what life is. Remember, God is nothing but life lived at its optimum, intensely, totally, with total abundance, a dance to totality. A dance, when you dance to its totality, the dancer disappears. Only dance remains. When you are doing any action or anything, be so much lost into it that the actor disappears, only the acting remains. There are three things: the subject, object, and that which happens between the two. Normally our focus remains either on the subject, that I am doing it, or on the object, but you do not become the action itself. You become, when you start the dancing, when you start speaking, a moment comes when you as a subject disappear, only speaking remains. You know that you are not speaking, but speaking is happening through you. You know that you are not dancing, but dancing is happening through you. That state is the state when you are intensely and totally into it. And the greatest courage in life is to live totally, in spite of all that what priests have been telling you and all others. The greatest courage in life is to live totally, in spite of all the priests and all the people who want you not to be joyous, not to be living totally. Because it is in intense living in totality that you lose yourself and you reach to the realm where you can discover yourself. That you are neither the subject nor object, you are beyond all this. But nobody wants you to attain to that state. Anything that is totally lived or done becomes meditation. anything I am not specifying that you are doing the meditation or anything. Anything that is lived totally or done intensely becomes meditation. By totality or intensely implies the doer is no more, there is no subject, there is no object, the two have dissolved into one another. What remains is what is happening between the subject and the object. When Jalaluddin Rumi danced totally for 36 hours, dance became the meditation. He was no more Jalaluddin, simply he was the dance, not the dancer. You do not need meditation. A man who is living moment to moment, absolutely natural according to himself, not according to the set norms, has nothing to regret, is not a failure. He is a happy man, a blissful man. And such a person need not worry about God. Hence, whatsoever he does becomes meditation. Buddha's walk becomes meditation. When Buddha sits, he is sitting intensely. There is no restlessness. He is not when he is speaking, he is not looking for the next word. He is not making an effort. When Vivekananda was asked after he has spoken in the Parliament of Religions, Sister Nivedita, Margaret Noble, asked him in one of the talks, Swamiji, when you were speaking in the Parliament of Religions, it was appearing as if rays of light was emitting out of your body. If you had asked us to plunge into the sea, we would have done it without any thought. The response that Vivekananda gave is tremendous. He said, when I was speaking in the Parliament of Religions, the words were mine. Of course, I am speaking. Words are forming. Words are forming effortlessly. The voice is mine. It cannot be denied that this is not my voice. But he said the force behind my voice was that of the haggard man. Means he was connected to his master. He was connected to his inner being. And what is his inner being? The master. The golden chain of the Sufi masters. That is the inner chain. Your innerness. Then in that state, it is not a talk. That is why Buddha does not lecture. A lecturer lectures. He is trained, he is a university lecturer, he lectures. You may give a discourse. Buddha's message is a sermon. He has just got himself connected to his inner beings. Words starts overflowing and the message overflows. A man who is living moment to moment, absolutely naturally, according to himself, has nothing to regret, is not a failure, he is a happy man, a blissful man, he needs no God. Whatsoever he does becomes meditation. How to live each moment totally is important. It is not a question of time that moves on the surface or swimming on the surface. Verily, the question is of depth. The question is of depth. Only those who live in depth, know what life is all about. They are not swimming on the surface of the ocean, instead they have dived deep within. When Vivekananda said, "The force behind my voice was of that haggard man," he was connected to his inner depth, innerness. Only those who live in depth know what life is about. Those who live in duration live horizontally, superficially. Their life remains a mask. It is swimming on the surface. You remain on the surface. God is not found by praying on your knees. God is not found in the temples and the churches. God is found in intense living a life of depth. God is found in living totally and a death also deep and totally. Live totally, die to the moment totally. God is yours and truth is yours. The moment you start learning to live totally, you are meditative. You are not praying on your knees. You are not into this superficial onto the surface. You remember, life is a moment. You are always given a single moment. You are not given two moments. If you know the secret of living one moment, you know the whole secret of life. To live in the moment is the secret of life. If you know the secret of living one moment, you know the whole secret of life, because you will always get one moment. Learn how to live it and how to be totally into it, as if this is the only moment given to you, and next moment this moment will not be there. I do not want anybody to die for a Buddha. Instead, live for a Buddha. I want you to blossom and flower for me. I want you to eat, drink and be merry for me. I want you to celebrate for me. I want you to live your life as totally as possible. Live deeply, live deeply, live totally, live wholly. So when death comes and knocks at your door, you are ready like a ripe fruit that is ready to drop any moment. Just a small breeze comes and the fruit drops. And sometimes even without the breeze, the fruit drops from its own weight and ripeness. The moment it is ripe, the moment it ripes, it falls, it drops out of its own weight. Death should be like that. And the readiness for such death has to come through intense living, rejoicing, dancing, singing, enjoying every moment to its fullest in totality is the way to live. And that is my approach. Squeeze the juice out of every moment so that you have never to repent. Never leave any moment unlived. Do not bother about past, which is no more, or future, which is also no more. The present is all there is. Live it totally. This is religion. Religion is living. Living totally, living intensely, without any purpose, because purpose is always in the future. And living is in this present moment. If you have a purpose to live your life, it is divided between present and future. You cannot be total. And without being total, you cannot experience what life is. Without being total, you cannot experience what life is. The only way to be total is to forget all about purpose. If you live in the moment totally, then there is no need to worry about future. A rightly lived brings you to a ripe youth, overflowing, vital, alive, and a wild ocean of energy. And a wild ocean of energy. A rightly lived youth brings you to a very settled, calm and quiet life. A calm and quiet life brings you to a religious inquiry: what is life? Living is not enough. Living lukewarm is not enough. You have to penetrate the mystery that life is. A calm and quiet life brings you to meditative moments. Meditation brings you to renounce all that is useless now. Meditation brings you to the moment when you realize the futility. Meditation brings you to renounce all that is useless, just garbage. The whole life becomes a garbage. Only one thing remains, always eternally valuable, and that is your awareness. Besides awareness, nothing else is important. Live totally and intensely, you will know life and you will know death as well. Live as intensely, as totally as possible, because this moment alone is there for you. This moment alone is there for you. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.